the youth leader and the entrepreneur at the same time. So when we are trying to talk about this matter, because I have read, I have gone through all those terms, I have understood them. I have even tried to enlighten my fellow subjects about them. What I can say.
What do they? Sorry to cut you short. What do they say when you talk to younger people who are still trying to grasp the political happenings in the country? Do they also understand what is happening in the country?
They understood, but what they are saying, waende nyumbani wote.
Okay.
It was a complete package when you are bringing them into the government. And if it is about impeachment, let us impeach Rigathi Gachagua and William Ruto and disperse this government. Everyone goes home and we go back to the drawing board. Because putting in mind, even when Right Honorable Raila Odinga came into the government, what was the idea? To bring some of his allies into the government. Isn't that even to pia kuguza nini Nyanza? Is hiyo pia to protect Nyanza? So when Rigathi Gachagua is talking about Mulima, it's not all about what we are thinking for. What I can say, I support Darren here. Whatever we have been tabled by the members of the parliament, it is a total different thing from what is initiating all this impeachment process.
Right. Before I cross over to Coach, do you think it's valid for Deputy President, to so often talk about one region in that nature?
As a national leader, I think that it's totally wrong. But at the same time, what is triggering him to do that? Putting in mind, even though those who are trying to impeach him, all of them are sitting or are eating in dark places or are sitting in dark places.
Right.
Anyone, even talking about the member of parliament of Kibwezi, how many allegations does he have?
Okay.
On his account.
All right.
As the member of parliament.
Let's have Coach also tell us, so that I can also have one round just getting to know what you expect from today before I cross over to Fred. Coach, have you read these 11 grounds that were tabled by Mwengi Mutuse, MP Kibwezi West? Individually, what do you think about these grounds as they are 11 of them?
Okay, I'm Coach Ken, Organizing Secretary, UDA Comrades Chapter, that was launched the other day on 28th September 2024. I'm also the former Secretary General of Tech University.
All right.
Concerning the impeachment of the Deputy President, I think as the young people first, the parliamentarians are together with us on this, because when we were on the streets the other day, we stood on the grounds of being tribeless. Our Deputy President has come out clearly, indicating and speaking out of interests of one community, leaving out the rest of 41 tribes. And as the young people, we feel somehow this guy does not serve our interest.
Right.
And it doesn't lead us to the right direction. That's one ground that it's in the 11 grounds of impeachment of the Deputy President that have been mentioned. Secondly, concerning, we have a number of issues as a country, currently running from the Adani issues on the airport, the share on health sector and education sector, on the problems that we have currently.
Yeah.
And the Deputy President has come out clearly saying that he's not aware of a number of issues in the government. Concerning the Adani issue, for instance, I think when you people of media were engaging him, you heard him saying, I'm not aware of it. So if the Deputy President is the obstacle on delivering government services, I think it's high time the government spared the impeachment if it's a parliament.
Right.
And then we have someone who is ready to assist the president on delivering services to the people of Kenya. On matters to do with tribalism also, I want to respond somehow on the issue my brother has raised concerning when my former Prime Minister came into the government through the broad-based government.
Right.
He came in a position or that the people he forwarded for the cabinet slots,
Right.
they never came from one region, honestly.
Okay.
Because, for instance, Joe come from Coast. There's a woman who was mentioned for East African affairs. He comes from Turkana. And we have the former governor of Kakamega, Oparanya, coming from Western. These people are not from Milo Nyanza, honestly. So, on Rigathi Gachagua, concerning how the cabinet laws were mentioned, he said our interest as Mulima was protected.
Okay.
The 7 slots.
Right.
So you see, this guy he stands out to protect the interests of one region, leaving out the rest of other Kenyans. So for on my side, I support it fully.
Right.
Concerning the impeachment, yeah.
Right. So mixed variations of this bit. I'll be having the mics over to you. But then now this is a representation of the Gen Z. Now, in case you're also Gen Z back at home or millennials or other generations, this template is public domain. You can access it on the Parliament website. So what they're telling you is download and fill this template. These templates may be delivered to the venue collection center indicated in the schedule of public hearings on the 4th of October, which is today, or forwarded to the Clerk of the National Assembly. They also give you a PO box there, 4184-2. This particular, the charges as well. And they also tell you can also email it to impeachment@parliament.go.ke. It's about 12 minutes to the start of this hearings and public participation. So now, as we also get back to you, I want us to listen to a bite by Deputy President Rigathi Gachagua talking about the Gen Z protests, which also includes in one of these particular charges, and then we get back.
Taendelea. Na nilitoa maoni yangu. Na maoni yangu ilikuwa ya kwamba hao watoto si wakora, ni watoto wa Kenya.
Right. There you have it. Him talking about Deputy President saying that he was not really involved in these Gen Z demonstrations. Gentlemen, during the Gen Z demonstrations, we had some of you here on set talking about what was happening. I'll start with you, Vitalis. What are your thoughts on this as well? For Deputy President having to be even asked such a question if he was involved in the Gen Z demonstrations that began around June thereabout.
My take on that is that if they claim that the Deputy President sponsored the Gen Z on this demonstration, then I think the Deputy President stands a better position to win elections very early in the morning. I want to say that the Deputy President didn't sponsor any of us. I was in the demonstration, I participated in it, and these allegations that they're saying the Deputy President sponsored that is actually false information. And I want to say this, the Deputy President said that if I'm given the Gen Z, then I accept them, because with the Gen Z, we are the most populated people, and come 2027, we'll mobilize people to vote. So my take on this about Rigathi Gachagua is that, charity begins at home. And if we were to talk about tribalism, I think Rigathi Gachagua, there's no allegation that they have mentioned that those grounds on impeachment, that Gachagua has appointed people in these parastatals and to become maybe the CEOs. So I know the impeachment process is more of a political and a legal process, but in this, they are playing too much politics in terms of impeaching the Deputy President. So in terms of the demonstration about the Gen Z, Gachagua was not involved, and that should not stand as an impeachment motion to the Deputy President.
All right. To you, you had earlier said that you think it's a whole political bait, and your take was actually very interesting. The fact that you believe the President as well as the Deputy President are in this together, and at the very end, we'll see both of them again smiling and shaking hands and going back to the mountain and saying, "Tumerudi pamoja." For such a very strong statement to be made that he was part of the Gen Z demonstrations, what are your thoughts on this kind of allegations being made by members of the parliament?
I think members of parliament, they need to go home, all of them, because for the first person to be impeached, it should be the president, not the deputy president. Because when the president ignores the court orders, when the president calls the Gen Zs as rogues, when the president is not, when you look at the parastatals, 23 of them are challenging his tribe. And between him and Deputy President who says Murima, who is more tribal? I think the president is more tribal than the deputy president. And so we must make these matters clear. The deputy president did not involve himself with us when we were demonstrating. And if they want to blanket to say that he is the one who supported the Gen Z protests across the country, then it clearly shows that deputy president is a very powerful man. Then he's in a good position to be the president of Kenya. If he can organize all those demonstrations single-handedly, then we are talking of a very dangerous man. Number two, if indeed this impeachment is truthful, then the deputy president is going to be impeached. But if he is not going to be impeached, then it's a decoy. It's just they are playing games with Kenyans. Then when it reaches the Senate, they will forgive him. Then at that moment, the deputy president will become more popular than he is now. Thank you.
Right. Now to you, let's analyze some of this 11 grounds. I'll read because they're definitely lengthy and wordy, but then I'll just try and summarize them. The first one says gross violation. It mentions a couple of these articles talking about the deputy president has significantly undermined national unity and peaceful coexistence. Goes on to, now for the second one, gross violation of the Constitution by undermining the President and the Cabinet and the effective discharge of the national government's executive mandate. The third one, gross violation of a couple of articles there, Article 6, 10, 174, 186, and 189, talking about inciting citizens against lawful directives of the county government on the planning and relocation of markets. Let's talk about majorly Nairobi County. The other one, undermining institutional and decisional independence of judges. The other one there, breaching his oath of office and allegiance. And the other one, serious reasons to believe that the deputy president has committed crimes under sections 13 and 62 of the National Cohesion and Integration Act. The other one, serious reasons to believe that he has committed gross economic crimes, and a couple of articles there, 45, 46, and 48. The other one there, serious reasons to believe that he has committed crimes by continuously misleading members of the public through false, malicious, divisive, and insightful remarks. Other one, gross misconduct that is incompatible with the high calling and dignified status of the office of the Deputy President and members of the Cabinet and National Security Council. Another one, gross misconduct by openly or publicly insubordinating the President, who is the head of state and government. And the last one, gross misconduct by persistently bullying state and public officers. The reason I'm reading this, even for the viewer who hasn't read some of these bits, today we're going to be having this public participation. Young people either looking at them at the comfort of their house and either sending it to the mail or actively coming to the social halls in different constituencies. As a young person, and the fact that we have seen young people come out openly and talk about we are reading the Constitution now. What do you expect today? What kind of mood in the next 5 minutes? Because the social halls are opening at 8 a.m. What kind of a mood do you expect? Do you expect young people to actually come on board and actually say what you guys are saying here?
First what I think of, I can say the mood will be somber. It will depend with what is actually triggering that young person. But when I'm talking as a young person, as a youth leader, at a ground level, actually, no majority young people are going to show up for this thing. Actually, that's what I can promise you.
Okay.
Yeah, because the exact things that we demanded, I'll respond still to my brother, my good friend Koech here, when he's saying that the demands of Gen Zs that you are giving, President responded to them, and now the Deputy President is now trying to shun away from them. That's totally the wrong thing, because whatever we presented on the day when we were, in fact, we were here for an interview before we went into the parliament. Yeah. The day we were here, actually, the issues that we wanted, the issues that we demanded even during that demonstration period, only 0.2% have been met, not even fully.
Okay.
Yeah. when we were talking about the cabinet, we thought maybe even the reshuffling will be a bit much better. But what happened is just taking the same person. Even the worst person now is being taken to that place. So what I can respond to that is that we are expecting least number of young people who are going to turn up to give their grievances, and even if they are going to be there, maybe just to show up, because actually tumechoka with all these things. We need work, we need exact thing to be running on the ground, but we don't need these mind games that the government is trying to play with us and the MPs.
Coach, when you take a look at the front page of the Star, it tells us big test for MPs as regards issues over public views. There's something he's talking about the members of the parliament. When the young people actually say that we are getting into, and there you have it. When we're going to parliament, and there was the hue and cry that these members of parliament should go. What do you think when you're having 291 members of parliament appending the signatures? Do you think they carefully read? All of you have told me that you carefully read this as Gen Z, but for the members of parliament, do you think they carefully read this 11 grounds, or was it a motive for them? What do you think?
First, our members of parliament majorly are now exercising their role of oversight to the executive majorly, and to the grounds majorly maybe on corruption, the number of issues that they have raised on the 11 of them. Let me focus on corruption. Okay. For instance, the Deputy President, after the swearing in on September 2022, up to date is around 24 months. And we know his salary, summing up to around 24 million. And for instance...
in a year?
Yeah. No, yeah. In 2 years.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Because I think 12 million first
year,
coming to a total of 24 million.
Yeah.
And maybe on some allowances. And the allegations they are putting on board is there are a number of hotels, 5-star hotels, not just a normal hotel, 5-star hotel. And some resources summing up to a total of 5.2 trillion, if I'm not wrong. Okay. And the numbers are not matching. If for instance, Stanley, we know your salary. Maybe you are running similar with the Deputy President, and you come up and tell us in 2 years that you have acquired a number of such resources. It will honestly, it will not be somehow honestly. You will not be telling us honestly. You will not be honest to us concerning that. Okay. And I think parliamentarians, maybe they have not had a ground, but at least they are protecting Kenyans from grounds that the young people went into the streets. Okay. One, on corruption, tribalism, yeah.
All right. Right. It's 8 a.m. exactly, East African time, a very momentous time for the country right here. So we're going to be having a wall-to-wall coverage